Hey guys, grab your yarn. We're reacting to more Yarn Hub. We're gonna find out why only one B-17 came home alone without any of their friends.
It's a cold, chilly morning on October the 10th, 1943. Pilot Robert Rosie Rosenthal arrives at today's briefing, joining 60 other pilots and navigators from the 100th Bomb Group.
Hey, man.
Among them is his co-pilot Winifred Pappy Lewis and his navigator Ronald Bailey.
All right, let's get this over with.
Wonder if some got their nicknames.
Your target today is Munster. So far, our targets have been factories, but not this time. Today, the aim point is the Old Town Cathedral.
What? Why?
Numerous shocked faces spread across the meeting room. Lewis and Bailey share a stunned look.
Yes.
Towards the front, 100th Bomb Group leader Major John Egan cheers the news. Many of the men, including Egan, have lost close friends on previous missions. The pain of their loss means that some of the men consider such a mission ripe for revenge.
Fuel pressure. Good.
Munster's home to a large proportion of railway workers. They are crucial for the German war effort.
Yeah, that's how they transport stuff.
We're gonna be there right in time for the Sunday Mass. I don't know how I feel about it.
Yeah.
Come on, Pappy. You know it's our duty.
Yeah, I just don't want to feel weird about that.
B-17s of the 100th Bomb Group rise into the air. The Royal Flush takes up a position at the very back of the formation, a position that everyone aboard is well aware is particularly exposed and dangerous, but dwelling on it helps no one.
But it's not going to be any milk run. Intelligence reports over 500 fighters ready to intercept along our path. You can also expect extremely heavy flak over the target. You'll be part of a 274 bomber formation. Major Egan will be the commanding pilot of the group.
Right there. Engines low on power. Returning to base. Egan, another one left. Damn it. Radio, put that in the log. There's another one gone back. Lucky SOBs.
To ease the burden on your attack, you'll have 216 P-47 Thunderbolt escorts. They'll catch up over Holland and protect you along the entire mission.
The Armada flies over
Holland to
Holland
come
into
again?
Germany. They are now absolutely and without a doubt over enemy territory.
Someone forget that country exists.
Gunners, do you see any Allied fighters in the distance? Negative. Nothing on our 6. Nothing. Left waist clear. They aren't coming, are they? They'd already be here if they were. Well, maybe they're late and they'll catch up.
But unbeknownst to the crews,
What's up with his
they
voice
aren't
out?
just late.
What's up with
There are
the
no
voice?
fighters.
What?
The weather on their bases didn't allow them to take off, and their absence leaves the bombers even more
Oh
vulnerable.
no!
But escorts or not, they got no
I thought it was the other. I thought it was the other airplanes they were talking about.
choice but to press forward. As they venture deeper into enemy territory, more reports of attacks come in. Isolated groups of fighters launching attacks further up the formation and claiming a handful of B-17s.
Keep your eyes peeled, everyone. Pilots, do you see this?
A cloud of fighters appears in the distance.
Oh
The
fuck!
interceptors have arrived.
Good luck. I'll see you all in a couple of hours.
They are. He's not.
Open fire! Show them what we've got!
We already know how this
In a
ends.
blur, a swarm of NE-109s and FW-190s cuts through the formation. The guns from the fortresses come alive, filling the air with tracers as the German fighters fire their deadly 20mm guns.
They're coming your way, Stanley.
Moments later, NE-110s appear from the rear,
Finish! 6 o'clock! Move!
sweeping in and firing rockets all around.
Ooh.
Get back to the gun!
The sky is filled with a confusing mess of fighters and lead. The big fortresses are soaking up shell after shell, while the enemy fighters go down in flames. A rocket strikes the lead B-17 of the 100th Bomb Group. Mademoiselle Zigzag, piloted by Major Egan. 2 of their engines are lost, and a gash is opened on the fuselage.
Shit.
Damn it! Damn it! We're losing power!
There's nothing Egan can do as his bomber struggles and finally fails to keep up with the formation. Slowly, the gap opens up more and more, isolating them.
Oh,
Let's
fuck.
us behind. Radio is gone. We have no contact.
Unaware of the Mademoiselle Zigzag's predicament, the bombers directly
Oh, no.
behind also slow and drop altitude to maintain formation, which leads
Oh,
to those
shit.
behind also doing the same. It's a catastrophic chain reaction.
Fucking human
Coming
brains.
in. 2 o'clock.
At first, no one realizes. They're too focused on the battle to notice, but soon, the growing gap between their formation becomes obvious.
We're falling behind. Why? We're getting dangerously isolated. Speed up. Leader, do you copy? Egan.
Confusion spreads, and the pilots are faced with an impossible decision. Do they remain in a small formation with their brothers in arms, or do they leave them behind and charge for the bigger one? 2 of the 100 bomb group's flying fortresses take the plunge, pushing their throttles to full and racing for the bigger group. On board the Royal Flush, all the way at the very back, the 2 pilots are caught up in the confusion.
Formation is breaking apart. We're falling behind. Nothing we can do. If we break the gap, every German is going to fall on us.
Yeah.
They decide to stay. The Germans very quickly notice the isolated group of 11 B-17s and pounce on their prey. Damage is rapidly building up. Multiple B-17s are trailing smoke as the machine gunners are completely overwhelmed.
Oh, boy.
The men of the Royal Flush can only watch as an FW-190 sweeps in and strikes one of their compatriots on the wing.
Oh.
It triggers a massive
Oh,
fireball.
no.
Their friends bail for their lives before the bomber finally loses control and explodes into
Oh.
a million pieces. Soon after, a second B-17 catches fire after being hit by multiple 20mm rounds.
We're dropping like flies. We're 3 minutes out.
Another B-17 is lit up by fighters, tearing its wings and fuselage to pieces. Fearing the incoming flak, the pilot turns away from the formation and heads for home on its own.
Where are you going?
But it only attracts the fighters. They
Yeah.
swarm all around it. They tear it to shreds, but they leave it still flying to focus on the formation that's still headed for the city. The fighters turn their attention to Major Egan in the Mademoiselle Zigzag. Relentless attacks destroy critical systems one after the other, making the fortress harder and harder to control. Fighting their sticks, Egan realizes they're done for.
Get out of here. Fail, fail.
I wonder if B-17s are still able to fly today.
The crew starts jumping off, but the co-pilot stays, helping Egan keep the aircraft steady for their men.
Go!
As soon as they're gone, pilot John Brady and Major Egan move to jump out of the bomb bay.
Go ahead, Brady, as I'm a senior man! No, you go ahead!
But then a fighter comes in
Ew,
from
fucking
above and opens
go
fire.
together. No.
Bullet holes appear across the bomb bay door.
I'll be seeing you, Brady!
Egan jumps first, followed by Brady. They both make it out. Back with the Royal Flush, the gunners are fighting for their lives, while Rosenthal and Lewis resist the urge to run, holding positions
Oh.
they're forced to watch.
That's not the sound effects. That's the sound I need, like, my audio. I'm very interested in watching the Elon the click is made.
B-17s fall one by one. But outside, a fighter lines up a shot. He fires a flurry of rockets at the Royal Flush.
Oh!
One strikes directly on the wing, punching a massive hole, and instantly taking out 2 engines.
Bailey, outboard of the target. Just a little more. We're almost there.
The German fighters turn away,
Oh, that's all.
fully
That's all.
knowing what the B-17s are heading towards. A tornado of fighters gives way to a flurry of flak. With the rest of the formation already gone, every gun in the city is now focused on the 3 surviving bombers.
Hold on, boys. We'll get through this.
Oh!
The flak shreds the remaining aircraft.
Another one is down, Rosie.
One of them is set on fire and is forced to drop their bombs early before bailing from the flaming, flying.
We're here. Autopilot on. 1, Bombardier, it's your plane. Roger,
I
pilot.
mean, it's still
The control
crazy
of
to
the
me that
aircraft
Autopilot
is given to
existed
the
back then.
bombardier.
Bomb bay doors open.
The aim point approaching painfully slowly.
Damn it.
Shit.
The second to last B-17 is struck directly
Oh.
and bursts into a ball of flame. It slowly banks over and falls away, disintegrating all the way down. The Royal Flush is the last one standing.
Bomb down, pilot, the plane is all yours.
Immediately, Rosenthal retakes control and maneuvers to avoid the flak.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
They escape the city airspace, limping with just 2 engines and heavy damage.
Where is everyone?
The only ones left.
6 o'clock.
Multiple German aircraft appear from the clouds. Gunners from the Royal Flush open fire, but all alone, they're sitting ducks.
Make sure you have enough ammo. Hold on, everyone.
In desperation, Rosenthal throws all bomber piloting wisdom out of the window and breaks into evasive maneuvers. The
Yeah,
West gunners
there's
hold
only
on
one
for
left.
dear life as the B-17 turns left and right. They open fire for a split second before the bomber banks hard underneath them. 4 FW-190s pull up on the 6th of the Royal Flush, chasing the B-17 across the sky.
Really, they're coming your way.
Rear gunner Sergeant Bill de Blasio aims at the second from his left and fires bursts of bullets his way. On the 3rd, he scores a critical hit,
Nice.
shearing its left wing
Whoa.
clean off and making it crash into his wingman, taking both
You for
aircraft out of
one.
the sky. Immediately switches to the next fighter, striking it on the engine and breaking off its canopy.
Nice.
The last fighter peels away, fleeing from de Blasio's deadly aim.
Smart.
But the Germans are far from done.
Ah, god damn it.
6 more aircraft line up behind the bomber. De Blasio opens fire as the twin-engine fighters unleash their rockets. Trails of smoke fire off
Oh,
from the
shit.
fighters, flying all around de Blasio. Miraculously, none hit.
Oh,
He
I really
fires back,
shouldn't piss
aiming
myself.
at one of them. The 50 caliber guns rip through.
Have you ever been so scared that it feels like you're peeing in reverse? I would have been that scared.
The German fighter, setting it alight. The rest of the enemies open fire in return, unleashing a storm of lead that explodes against and punches clean through the bomber's fuselage.
Oh!
2 waist gunners are struck by the shrapnel and fall to the aircraft's floor in pain.
Schaefer looks bad.
Their screams for help sound on the radio, while de Blasio fires with all he has, fire in his eyes. He aims across the entire formation, changing from target to target. His bullets impact 2 of the 190s, making them lose control and crash into one another.
Sweet.
Not long after, by sheer luck, the remaining German fighters turn away, limited by fuel.
Running away. We're clear?
Suddenly,
Looks like
the
it.
skies fall to a calm, and the Royal Flush is still in the air.
Skies clear. Take off. Somebody check on the waist gunners.
Radio operator Michael Bacciuzzi abandons his post and rushes to the waist of the aircraft, where the 2 gunners are on the floor and in pain.
Man, I've got you. Talk to me, Schaefer. You'll be okay, I promise. Can we make it back?
They better.
Altitude, we need to shed some weight. Gentlemen, we need to get rid of everything that isn't bolted down. And quick!
The crew get to work. They throw overboard absolutely everything that isn't needed. Guns, ammunition, oxygen tanks, everything.
We ditched everything. Is it enough?
Fucking
Is it
better be.
enough, Rosie? I don't know, Pappy. Maybe.
Back at Thorpe Abbots, mechanics and officers watch the skies, waiting anxiously. Scheduled time of arrival has already come and gone. The other bomb groups have already returned, but nothing has been heard of the 100. Then, in the distance, a single B-17 appears low over the horizon. Smoking and barely flying, the Royal Flush lowers its landing gear, drifts in, and touches down upon the runway. The gathered men watch in shock as a badly wounded aircraft comes to a stop. It rolls off the runway and cuts its engines. The silence is deafening. They are the only ones from the 100th to return. Medics rush to their aid while the crew piles out onto the grass. There's no celebration, hardly any relief. The reality of what's just happened sinks in. The raid was one of the worst disasters of the 8th Air Force's history. The 100th Bomber Group was the one that suffered most, earning it the nickname of the Bloody 100th. Of the 130 men in the shot-down aircraft, 37 were killed and 93 would become prisoners of war.
Under the royal flush. I'm just gonna see how many pieces of these are still around. Oh, there's like only like 3 or 6 of them that are fully airworthy. Well, that was a sad one. I'll see you guys in the next one later.